Double stuffed, mega stuffed Oreos, baby. That's the bit I'm going with now. I don't know. Welcome to this is Movies Are Real, the monthly movie podcast where we discuss the movies of the month prior and what we're looking forward to the next month. This is the episode for April 2019, and holy moly, is there a lot of motion pictures. I am here with Ryan Lance. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Won't bring up anything
Yes.
else.
How did I know?
Oh, boy.
I'm doing great. I've seen a certain celebrity's penis, and I am upset.
Celebrity. Oh, boy. Carrie, how are you doing?
I am.
You are a year older and a year wiser now.
That's true.
But you have also seen that celebrity's penis.
I feel like I've lost some of my life because of that, but we persist.
What an angle! What an angle!
Bold.
Oh boy! But yeah, we have a lot to talk about this month. Holy moly!
Usually we are stretching ourselves.
That is true.
I feel like this year,
But it's-
now we actually have some movies.
It's summer. I'm free. So
April is summer.
Well, it is now summer as we are recording.
You know what? Yeah.
I mean, like the biggest movie of the year was in April,
Look,
so it might as well
I
be.
like Pet Sematary as much as the next guy.
I don't know if it's the biggest movie of the year, George.
Oh well, you know, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know.
So the first movie we're talking about is Pet Sematary, 2018.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Nope, 2019.
Yeah, 2019, and that's what I was gonna be like. I'm trying to think of like my context for like, because I was thinking of like Pet Sematary. What do I remember about it?
It's pretty similar to the original one.
Yeah, I never saw the original one actually.
The original
Really?
one is great.
The problem with the original one is the main actor is the most like
He's
unemotional.
very flat, yeah.
Unemotional. He's just like, what's going on here? What is going on? What?
It's pretty funny.
It's really great because that movie's buck wild and he's
Yeah.
like emotes at no point. And Jason Clarke.
Yeah, I was gonna say
certainly
Jason
emotes.
Clarke kind of emotes.
Well, he does his best.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
like I was looking forward to this. I think we all
too.
were. You know,
Yeah.
we felt
I didn't have any expectations. I mean, Carrie's the Stephen King.
I was really excited.
Yeah.
it showed that like we can like actually make a good Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah.
And this movie showed that we can still fuck it up somehow.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a fuck up. I'd call it a meh. It exists.
Yeah, but
Wonder how well it
at
did.
least with like horror movies that are just like meh, they usually have like one solid moment,
That's
I feel.
Somebody look up how much this movie made. I bet it did pretty well. Well, were they very hard with the Stephen
It
King
came out the
marketing?
same day as Shazam, so I don't think so actually.
Yeah.
I mean, they had different markets, but
But I feel like crappy horror movies always do really good.
well, low budget ones. I don't know if this one was low budget.
Oh, I guess.
It
Yeah,
probably-
this one's probably medium, probably 50 million.
I feel like a Stephen King horror movie has to at least have a.
Oh,
That's the
that's
OG
Pet
one.
Cemetery 2. Thanks. Hold
Is
on.
that the direct-to-TV?
So it is.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Pet Sematary is,
Yes, if you're not familiar.
Jason Clarke and his family move out to sort of like a Midwestern small town.
In by Midwest, you mean the East Coast.
Oh, is
Because
it
it's
the East
in
Coast?
Maine.
Oh, does this take place in Maine?
It does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
They moved
21
to,
million.
They
So,
moved
yeah,
to
low
Maine
budget-ish.
from a bigger
Damn, it did
city.
well for it. So yeah, it made 100 million.
Oh, well,
Did very well.
Well, you know what?
I
Whatever.
told you.
Anyways, they moved to this kind of smaller town so Jason Clarke
Yeah,
can
'cause
be a
he's
small
gonna-
town doctor and
Yeah, he's
spend more
gonna
time
be
with his family.
a doctor at the college
Mhm.
there.
But in their backyard, there appears to be some sort of pet cemetery.
Yeah, like they bought a bunch of land with a bunch of
Mhm.
acres. One of them was like, yeah, there's a pet cemetery.
And
Spelled wrong. And I was like, I personally finally learned why it was spelled wrong.
Because it's made by kids.
It was made by kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And essentially, the lore behind this pet cemetery is if you bury your pet, not in the pet cemetery, but in a burial ground several miles away from the pet
Yeah.
cemetery. Something
And
that
summon the Highlander
Yeah.
and fucking...
the pet will come back to life.
Yeah.
But not correct.
Well, because
Spoiler
the pet
alert.
cemetery is a thing because of how many of the big trucks drive on that road. So
Mhm.
all the pets in the town always get killed and run over by it. So there would be such an excess of pets
I
being
didn't get
murdered
that
that they
part.
had to.
That makes sense.
But I mean, like, there's still like goldfish and stuff there, so they didn't get run over by trucks, presumably.
It's hard to really like
But-
understand that from this movie and like the original's perspective because you really only think of like these two people living on that road.
Mhm.
Like I know there's more, but you don't see anyone else.
Yeah.
In this one, you see more of the town. I don't think you saw any of the town in the original one.
No, you have the same scene where he's at his doctor's office and the guy who had been hit by a bus comes in, but yeah, otherwise it's just mostly him and Judd's house and the land surrounding.
Wait, so are we supposed to believe that? So Derry's in Maine as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much all of like Stephen King's
Yeah, I know
cities
that,
are,
but I'm trying to
within
buy
walking
into him. Like,
distance of
how
each
big
other.
is Maine? Like,
It's
how
not big.
Big enough.
Yeah.
And scary enough.
Yeah, apparently. So for me, I never saw the original Pet Sematary, but I feel like a lot of Stephen King stories and like the motifs and the sort of characters and a lot of the themes in it have sort of become ubiquitous in pop culture and like all media. So like when I was watching, I was like, oh, this is like that episode of the Treehouse of Horror from The Simpsons where the fucking or like whatever.
The Butters episode of South Park where
Yes.
he runs into the old man and tells him not to go down that road.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it was like, oh, it just feels like the retelling of that story, and obviously because it's a remake. But I don't know. For me, I thought the setup was obviously like the setup is very traditional, but I thought it was fine. I kind of have an okay time. It may be because, I don't know. I guess it may because I've never seen the original movie, so
Maybe.
for me, it was not. It was kind of sort of like fresh to see this sort of idea realized into not a cartoon or not a parody or not I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why I had an okay time with it, and when I realized this movie is like mediocre
I
at
think
best.
it's just because it's like wild.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, this feels...
And this one definitely tries to be more wild than the
Yeah,
original.
this one feels like it does a mixture of trying to be the original but extreme and trying to be the original but like poking at you and subverting your expectations. Because like a few big key events in this movie are the opposite of what happens in the original.
Is that the same ending?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, very different.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I like
The
the ending
original-
of the original much
The
better.
original one is more of like his own personal descent into madness and him
Yeah.
abusing this power from this cemetery.
Oh, okay.
And
And this one is more like, oh,
he loses
Zombies.
control of the zombies, yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
that's the thing that felt off to me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The original ending is a lot more wild, in my opinion, and I think we're safe to talk about it because it came out a long time ago.
yeah, it was like a.
But in the original, his son is the one who gets murdered, the baby, and when he comes back, it's wildly goofy, and he's a little talking baby walking around killing everyone in his little suit and tie, and the daughter does not get killed in the original, if I remember correctly, because she goes with the parents, and
she stays
with the grandma and grandpa.
Because the wife and the daughter go to stay with them because they're mourning. He just stays there for work for a little bit.
Well, yeah, and him and the dad get in the fight at the funeral and knock over the baby casket.
We've all been there, really.
Such a
But
funny
then
scene.
like she comes back because she needs him, but he's
Well,
like,
'cause-
I brought her baby back to life, so
Well,
it's
yeah,
all
and
good.
the daughter has all the dreams and premonitions and stuff because she, Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
psychic
she has
kid
the
for
Shining.
no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the original, the son kills the mom, and they set the house on fire, and the son kills Judd, and the same scene with the cutting the back of the ankle happens, but it's less extreme in the original. But
that was the one part that grossed me out in this movie.
Yeah,
it had
that's
a
always
couple moments of okay gore, but I felt like they could have done a lot more.
They were
with
still
it, 'cause
holding
it
themselves
was,
back.
It was rated R, so
It
I
was-
don't know
oh,
why
yeah?
so I don't know why they didn't just go for it.
Yeah.
It felt lazy.
Maybe Jason Clarke didn't want to be in a shitty movie. Well, shitty in his eyes. Like, what the fuck is this garbage? I'm Jason Clarke. I was in Serenity.
Haven't you seen Serenity?
But like the part of the original that I really liked is like the zombie baby gets killed and the wife is dead and he's like,
I gotta try it one more time.
I can do it right. I fucked
Yeah.
up, but I can do it right. So he brings his wife back from the dead and
He's just sitting in the kitchen, and then it strikes midnight, and zombie wife walks in, and they embrace and kiss, and then the movie ends. I was
That's
like,
a good ending.
It's a great ending.
Yeah, it's
But this is just like,
This is just like, oh shit, zombies are gonna take the baby.
Are they though?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Cars
that
locked.
Stupid.
That
Cars
very,
locked. They're stupid.
yeah, I never saw that, but that felt very un-Stephen King and more
Yeah.
modern horror
Yeah, I
movie.
didn't like the ending very
Yeah,
much.
I don't know. We have a lot to talk about, but is there anything else to say about this movie in particular? I think it's just, like I said, it's mediocre at best
It
for
is
me.
Yeah.
pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
It feels like a Netflix original, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It does feel like a straight Netflix thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I did.
But I had an okay time.
The original was the first horror movie I ever saw, so it had a special place in my heart. And the sister in the original scared the absolute fuck out of me, but in this one she was kind of lame. And the fucking dumbwaiter scene in this. You remember? Like, the setup to the scene was cool, how she would hear the sounds of her sister, like, dragging along the floor, but then when she opened the fucking thing and the lady just falls on the dumbwaiter, I lost my shit. That was fucking... And then it happened again. That was hilarious. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
It was so funny.
The one part that I thought was good was when she was in the bathroom and she was
That
hearing it,
scene
and
happened.
then she opens the cabinet and it is the dumbwaiter. I thought that was cool.
It was a cool setup, but it's
Yeah.
just a very goofy image. to
It is a
see
very
this
a
scoliosis lady fall down
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
And also, like,
Oh, God.
one thing about the original one is, like, I feel like they didn't do enough with that, and then this one, I feel, again, like they didn't do enough with that. Like, it's not enough to make me feel like why I should be interested in this lady's side story in this movie
like this
about
is her
zombies.
deepest trauma about
Yeah.
death and confronting it, and it doesn't. It feels kind
It
of
doesn't,
sidelined.
doesn't do anything, yeah.
All right.
But you know,
Shout out to John Lithgow, I guess. He's all right.
Yeah, he's
not as
tries.
good as original Judd, but who could be?
It's fine. Well, that was Pet Sematary. I want to get better about actually saying the names we talk about afterwards. So that was Pet Sematary. It was fine. This next one, I haven't seen it, but I heard good things about it. Before we go into what it is, Carrie, did you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so the movie we're talking about is Shazam. DC's Shazam, which was sort of the movie that was like put as like, oh, we're gonna loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna like untie my tie a little bit, you know. So yeah, tell me about this. Zachary Levi plays Zachary Levi. I don't know him. Did he play
The only thing I knew him
Superman?
from was
No, Spider and Ruth.
he was in Tangled. He was the voice of the guy in Tangled.
He was one of the Warriors 3 in the Thor movies.
That maybe it was probably no.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, Shazam.
He was on... Was he Dexter? No.
No, that's not Dexter.
He was in
Hellboy was Dexter.
Hellboy was Dexter?
New Hellboy.
New
Not
Hellboy.
Rock
No, Pullman, no.
Zachary Levi was on a TV show.
Yes,
though.
he's on a
Yeah.
TV show.
I have no idea. I don't watch very
Anyways.
many TV shows.
Anyways, Shazam. I don't know anything about Shazam. Ryan, tell me about Shazam.
So Shazam's thing is he's this 14-year-old kid who is bestowed
Right. He turns
these
into a
magic
dude,
wizard
a big
powers
man.
that
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of give him Superman-esque abilities with the added benefit of like lightning and shooting all that fun stuff. And it's activated when he says the magic word Shazam. It was, I forget the company that owned Shazam back in the day, but this was not originally a DC thing. Basically, DC bought this comic out, and then it was like put in the closet for like dozens of years. Then it got resurgence somewhat recently, and it became a big Justice League role on that. But yeah, the idea of Shazam. What makes him interesting is because he's this idea of like, what if a kid had superpowers, but not like.
That sounds lame.
Well, you know, like that idea, like, you know, when you're a kid and you imagine yourself being a superhero.
Sure.
Like that sort of like power fantasy in a less toxic way, obviously. More of like, I want to do good. And I feel like this movie plays that well. Zachary Levi definitely, feels like a kid just like stuck in like a man's body.
Is Mark Strong? I see Mark Strong. Is he the bad guy?
Oh,
Hell yeah, he is.
Okay.
His jacket, let me just say, holy hell. It's a long leather trench coat, but then it has a fur collar up here. And every time he was on screen.
Is he a mob guy? Is he
So
yeah.
so the thing is, the wizard guy will seek out people to try and test if they're worthy of his powers or whatever. And when Mark Strong was a child, the wizard pulled him in.
He failed or something?
Yes. There was like a temptation orb with all the 7 demons or whatever. And he was like, if you can resist that, then you can. And he went to the demon orb and he was like, oh, nope, not good enough. And he sent him back. And then Mark Strong was in the car with his older brother and his dad, and they got in a huge accident. And then he just felt defeated, and so he made it his life goal to try and decode where the wizard is and try and get back to him and get the powers back.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, is this a fun movie?
Yes.
It is very fun. Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I think that my highlight of the movie, besides Mark Strong's jacket, was Jack Dylan Grazer, the kid. He was one of the kids in It. He was Eddie, the one with the broken arm. He was amazing. I love him. He's got great comedic timing.
He does.
He's hilarious.
He was a great. Him and Zachary Levi had great chemistry.
Is that the kid version of Zachary Levi?
No, the kid version of is Asher Angel.
Oh, okay.
Who's not in it as much because he's switching between
right.
the roles. But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I feel like
it's been a while, so I'm kind of
right. So much has happened since that movie.
It was a nice movie, and it was funny, and I feel like it had a lot of heart too, because the main thing was that Billy was getting moved from like foster home to foster home, and he kept running away trying to find his real mom because she
he got lost.
Yeah, he got lost at a carnival, and it's like, my mom's probably looking for me, so he's trying to get back to her the entire time, so he keeps running away from these foster homes. And then he gets put into the foster home with Jack Dylan Grazer and like 5 or 6 other kids. And they have a really good family unit. And I just thought, and the foster parents are like really cool. I just really liked them.
Huh.
But yeah,
it's a very like nice, wholesome movie, which is very different from what DC has done.
Yeah,
sure.
And the director is David F. Sandberg, who we are fans of here.
Oh, yes.
He did Lights Out and Annabelle Creation, 2 not good movies, but
he's a dope guy.
We love him and we know that he's capable, and I feel like he did really well with this. And his horror voice comes out in the because the Mark Strong is basically imbued with the power of these seven
deadly
demons.
sins.
Yeah, 7 sin demons. And there's a scene where Mark Strong confronts this boardroom full of people and attacks them with the demons. And the designs of all the demons are super cool, and they're upsetting at some times. So it's like he got to express. It's like it makes sense that they got a horror guy to work
and also
with this.
His wife's cameo was horrifying.
Lota got vaporized.
In all of his movies, his wife Lota makes a cameo, and they become
It never
better
end well for Lota.
No, like in the first one, she got killed by the Lights Out demon.
Yeah.
The second one, she adopted Annabelle. What an idiot! And then in this one, she touched a demon door and got vaporized. She's great. She's great. I love a good Lota cameo.
We were the only people. We were like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously we are. But
Yeah.
when Lota came on screen, me and Ryan were just like, oh! It's like, huh?
Yeah, we were the only people who I think noticed that she makes a cameo in all those movies.
Oh, and also there was an Annabelle cameo in this movie.
What?
Yeah, because at the beginning when they introduce Billy, he's duping some cops because he set off the alarm at a pawn shop. And so you get a shot from inside the pawn shop, and just down and to the left, Annabelle is sitting on a shelf in the pawn shop.
All right.
So she's made...
She's making the rounds.
She's made 2 cameos.
This
in
is
the
a
DC
Warner Brothers
movies.
film, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I
It's
was
like,
saying,
because
how
she was
people
in
feel
the
about
boat in Aquaman, and then now she was in a pawn shop.
She's getting around.
She was in the boat in Aquaman?
Yeah.
We didn't see it personally,
but
we read about it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But like when he
canonically,
when he meets
Willem
Dafoe underwater in that boat where it's dry land inside of it. Apparently Annabelle is in that boat.
All right.
I know, right?
And we still haven't watched Aquaman again
It's
for
true.
some reason.
Oh, there's another Annabelle movie coming out this year.
Woo! Oh my god. Oh. Ooh.
Well,
it has been described on this podcast as the Civil War of the Annabelle movies.
Oh boy. Well, that's Shazam. Seems all right.
Great. Yeah,
It's good.
it's a
I
great
liked
fun
it.
time.
Yeah, it seems
I
like
want to watch it again.
such a busy month. Sort of, you got it kind of buried in our minds a little bit. And I haven't heard much people say anything. The next movie here, this is a Netflix original, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unicorn Store. So this is directed by and starring Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, the lead singer of the Clash of Demon Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
So we've talked about this movie before, but I forget what it's about. What's the pitch for that? I haven't seen this.
Essentially, she is this. She gets kind of. Brie Larson is this art student, and she gets kicked out of school because her ideas of art basically don't mix with her professor that she has, and she's just kind of dealing with her own like ideas of like who she is. This very like glittery, pink, bubbly, childlike person in this world where it's becoming more and more like. Adult and like coming of age of sorts. And she runs into Samuel Jackson, as you can see, George, on the trailer I played you, who owns this unicorn store and says, like, I'm going to sell you a unicorn. I hope you're ready for this unicorn. And she has to make her life and her home fit for this unicorn that she's going to be getting.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. Very interesting, weird premise. I know.
Yeah.
So it's her grappling with feeling like she can't do anything with her art and trying to force herself into a more professional life, but also having this opportunity of getting a unicorn, which is what she always wanted. And Samuel Jackson's like, you have to create a nurturing environment. You have to, basically, he's like, you have to improve your life. And so the unicorn store becomes a means of her making a happier life for herself in order to try and get this unicorn.
Huh. Interesting. So, I mean, obviously, Brie Larson. I mean, I'm actually not too familiar from Brie Larson apart from like her few big roles before Captain Marvel. So, Ryan, would you consider yourself knowledgeable? And Carrie, would you consider yourself knowledgeable about Brie Larson?
I didn't really know who Brie Larson was until Room, so no.
Right, because I know Room, and I know
I've seen her in
the
Room,
Clash of Demon
this,
Head,
Avengers, and Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Short Term 12 is another great movie of hers. It's very similar to Room in the sense that her character it's like she chooses characters that have been through a lot of shit,
right,
and just tries to give that a voice. And then also she was in Kong Skull Town.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. That's right. Forgot about her presence in that movie. Yeah, and she was in that gun movie I was telling you about. She was in Free Fire.
I will watch that. I forgot about that.
I haven't got a Free Fire as well until recently. I remember looking it up. A24's catalog. Because it's directed by her.
You really like this.
I did like this. It was like a I needed this kind of moment when I was watching it.
It's a very sweet, wholesome.
Yeah, it's a sweet, nice, supportive movie, and I said in my Letterboxd review that it made me think of Brigsby Bear because it's just kind of like the vibes of this kind of outcast person whose goals don't align with what people around them necessarily expect them to do, and then they just pull together to try and
from the setup and from watching this trailer, that makes sense from the way
it's good.
Yeah,
and it's got Joan Cusack in it, and I love her. She plays Brie Larson's mom.
Oh, okay.
Brie Larson's dad is I would have voted for Obama for a third term.
From Get Out.
From Get Out, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they're like camp counselors.
Only plays dads.
Yeah, her parents are like camp counselors for troubled youths.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right,
yeah,
so
it's a very sweet, wholesome movie. It has this very like, the first like introduction scene to her in like her like art piece.
Her art final.
I love.
She failed.
Even though it was amazing.
Yeah.
It has this certain like vibe and like color scheme to it that I wish kind of like carried out more through the movie. Yeah. Because I feel like it could have really been this like big juxtaposition, like her world and like the world that she's kind of being forced into. I feel like it could have done more in that and would have probably been more like grandiose. I mean, I really like love what was made here. I think especially for like someone's first directorial debut, it's fantastic. And Samuel Jackson is
he's got a pink suit on.
Her and Samuel Jackson have great chemistry.
Oh yeah,
it's so funny.
All right, they're in Captain Marvel together as well.
And they were in Kong Skull Island together.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I didn't rewatch Kong Skull Island.
I bought it, but it's in my car. I haven't taken it.
Yeah, apparently, I was listening to some interviews about this just because I was interested in, her making it, and her and Samuel Jackson became like great friends on Kong Skull Island, and then they did this, and then they did Avengers, and they're apparently like best friends.
I love that.
I know, it's great.
Well, that's that.
That's it.
Yeah, it's Unicorn Store. That's up on Netflix.
Netflix, one of the few good Netflix films. IMO.
I mean,
You know.
Yeah, so the next movie we were talking about, we mentioned it on the last episode, is The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, which I remember correctly has been sort of on development hell.
Yeah, it's been in production for 30 years, is what Terry Gilliam says.
Right.
25 years.
In the making, yeah. Oh boy. Carrie, you've seen this.
Yes, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to catch it anywhere, because it had like a 1-day Fathom event release in theaters, but then it was also just immediately available on digital, so I just rented it, and it's great. I really liked it. Basic setup is Adam Driver plays this director who is in this town shooting a commercial, and it happens to be the same town where he had previously filmed his final project for film school, his student film, where it was a Don Quixote themed film, and he goes back to the same town. And he realizes that the guy who he had cast to play Don Quixote is still trapped in thinking that he is Don Quixote. So he gets swept up in this adventure with him. And if you've seen Terry Gilliam films before, it follows his same pattern of it kind of devolves into surreal madness, and the line between reality and fantasy gets a bit blurred. And I think Adam Driver is fantastic in it. He's just great. I'm coming into realizing that I really, really like Adam Driver. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Pryce, he was in Brazil. He was the main guy in Brazil, also done by Terry Gilliam. Yeah. Or more people might know him as Elizabeth Swann's dad from Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, this movie's really good.
This looks really good from watching the trailer right now.
I loved it.
Right.
And it's a little... I don't know. It's kind of offbeat sometimes, and some of it's a little weird, but I think that works for it. And there's a documentary called Lost in La Mancha that is just basically chronicling all the hardships they had making it. I didn't get a chance to watch that. I wanted to, but yeah, I really like this movie.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I should probably link that trailer on here. That looks really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
And if you just want to look at Adam Driver and his cute face, I mean, yeah.
So
I know we can all relate to that.
Adam Driver's interesting just because you see him in like the Star Wars, and he's this mopey like emo asshole, and then you see him in any other movie, he's like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, that's how I feel.
Agree.
Like whenever
it's a very limited
him,
role.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, that was The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Hard turn.
So we brought up Annabelle.
That's true.
Yeah.
Annabelle cameo part 2, The Curse of La Llorona. So when we were seeing trailers for this movie, I saw the priest guy in the trailer for this, and I was like, does this guy just always play a priest in a haunted situation? Not realizing that he was the literal same priest from the first Annabelle movie. Yep. And I was like, oh. So then I was watching this, and fucking Linda Cardellini goes to him for help because her children are being attacked by La Llorona, and he's like, I never used to believe in spiritual ghosts and stuff, but then there was an incident with a doll a few years back, and there was 2 or 3 seconds of just him walking with Annabelle, and I was like, oh,
I'm tired of this fucking doll.
This is like the first time they've made like a movie in that universe that's not a spin-off, because The Nun's a spin-off, Annabelle's a spin-off.
It's just very, very...
Now they're just like, now it's like this studio's like, hey, how about every horror movie we make, we just like say it's in the Conjuring universe, exactly. And we can like sell 10 more tickets.
Yeah,
man.
But yeah, I went to this movie just randomly on a Wednesday morning because I didn't have anything else to do, and it was not good. I really didn't like it. Like,
does it even touch on like the sort of like
It talks about the story behind La Llorona, and I wasn't super familiar. I had heard of it, and I knew she was someone who her thing was she would snatch children,
Yes.
or that was the fable, but I didn't know any more than that. According to the movie, she was a beautiful bride in this town, and then she got married to some guy, and he cheated on her or something, and to get back, she went a little insane, and to get back at him in a way, she ended up murdering her children, and then she was so overcome with grief and guilt over what she had done, she killed herself, and she was upset, and then now her ghost roams looking for children to replace hers. And it didn't feel like it was done with any effort or heart at all. I did not care. This movie was bad.
Is
Is it the same shit from the other Conjuring movies?
Yeah,
the same kind of scares?
Is it that?
Like they touch something and bah!
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
It's very dark.
I was gonna just now try and think it would be if there was any one good scare sequence, and there really isn't.
Was at least one sequence?
There was one decent one, I guess, where it was just kind of cool because it was a little more subtle. Basically, Linda Cardellini plays a social worker, and she is it has this one case with this lady Patricia, who her two sons, she was keeping them in a closet, and they're like, you can't be doing that, and she's like, and they play the pronoun game where they're like, the kids are like, she did this to us, and they're like, oh, your mom? Okay, yeah, we'll put her away, and then it's like, oh no, it was La Llorona, but then the mom, those two kids end up getting killed because they're taken to this hospital, and La Llorona like lures them out, and then that mom blames Linda Cardellini and says, I've prayed that she comes after your children now. And so basically, long walk set up to the one decent decent scare that I kind of liked was Linda Cardellini's daughter was in the backyard with one of those plastic bubble umbrellas, that go down, and she opened it and moved it up, and when she looked through the umbrella, La Llorona appeared, kind of like wiped in, and then when she moved the umbrella, she was gone. But
yeah, while Carrie's explaining this, I've been looking at the box office for this movie. This movie was made with $9 million. Son of a bitch, and made $108 million.
Yeah, no, this movie's bad. I almost feel really bad that I paid to watch it.
And I was looking at like how well it did foreign markets that are Latin American.
I was noticing that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it seems well.
It did very well in Mexico. Yeah, that's the other thing. Did they even touch on the fact that this is sort of like a fable that comes from like Latin American
Yeah, I mean,
is it just like a crazy lady speaking Spanish? Like, oh,
she's probably a ghost.
She doesn't have a tongue. She was a nun somewhere. I don't fucking know.
When Linda Cardellini seeks out the help from the priest recommends this guy who was an ex-priest, and he sort of is a shaman healer now, and he's on the fringes of being a priest, so he kind of comes in and does some sage burning and stuff like that, but
God.
But yeah, no.
So not really.
That sucks.
I mean, I don't know. I might not be doing it justice because I like halfway through I was like, wow, yeah, this is bad.
To be fair,
and I kind of checked out.
Yeah.
Give this movie justice.
Yeah, it didn't feel like an imaginative or exciting embodiment of this very well-known, very classic fable. So
yeah. Well, I didn't expect much, but it seems like they didn't even try. That's The Curse of La Llorona. How many movies in the Conjuring universe are we at?
Conjuring 1, 2, Annabelle 1, 2, The Nun, and then Annabelle 3 comes out this year, and Conjuring 3 comes out next year.
Oh, man. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the rest, including Avengers Endgame, High Life, and a lot more. We will be right back. We are back. Oh boy, we're back with a very happy, good time. It's such a joyous motion picture about space travel and how the future is very bright. We're talking about High Life. This is a 824 joint, right?
Yes, I believe.
Directed by Claire Denis. I don't know anything about that director.
She's very famous. She's made some other stuff with...
She just sounds famous. That's why I said that.
It's true. It's a very astute name. Juliette Binoche.
Binoche, yeah. There's... I can't remember, but there's another movie that she made with her that's very popular.
This was another case of... this was like... who was the lady who did Lady Bird? Greta Gerwig.
Yes.
This was the same thing
right,
as when this movie came out, everyone was like, oh another man. Claire Denis masterpiece. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally know who that is.
Yes. Right. So High Life, this is...
She's a French director, so that's probably why we
I could gather.
Yeah, no.
Denis and Binoche.
So yeah, this is...
And Patterson.
and the general unpleasantness of the film.
Yeah.
Well.
So Robert Pattinson is in space.
And back, baby!
Imagine an incredibly unlikely future, no way this could possibly happen, where we decided to take the prisoners that are probably overfilled in a prison system in the future, and we took them to space to conduct crazy experiments.
Make them into astronauts.
Yeah, because they have no value.
I think about to say the crazy, unthinkable future where we sent Robert Pattinson into space to get rid of him. What were we thinking?
Yeah.
He's too powerful. We have to get him off this planet.
And Andre 3000, I guess.
Yes.
He wanted to go along as well.
Something he just wanted to do.
Yeah.
Me and God, we needed to get rid of her. She was definitely too powerful.
So yeah, so the it's not completely clear for me, but it appeared that the experiment that they are on was to sort of find a way to reproduce a child in incredibly toxic condition, like radiation.
As a team, I think their mission statement was harnessing the power and trying to figure out how they could utilize the black hole. But I think Juliette Binoche's character had her own agenda of trying to artificially inseminate in the environment of space.
Right, like incredibly high radiation, and okay, that makes more sense then. That makes a whole lot more sense. So yeah, this movie is very slow. It is very depressing. Mm-hmm. It is very horny in the most not fun way possible.
This is a movie that you cannot discuss at work.
Sucked ass.
So what did you see this weekend?
I discussed it at work. I always told my boss about the movies I saw, and I was like, I went to see this movie called High Life, and he was like, oh, what's that? And I was like, everyone gets raped in space. And he was like, okay.
Imagine the most semen you could possibly
I was about to say. God damn, a lot of fake cum in this one.
Fake?
You don't know it's fake.
All right.
Robert Pattinson just does that.
Or Randy Pitchford is his magic trick.
So it begins with Robert Pattinson taking care of his daughter in space as she's a very young baby.
Yeah, the film is presented in non-linear format because it starts with him and his daughter.
It starts at like sort of the end of what we see.
It starts with him throwing all the dead bodies of his compatriots out of the ship, and then you see them the next scene and they're alive. It's like
and then we end way up ahead of time.
Then, I was telling Ryan about this, how I love how Robert Pattinson's old man makeup that they did was just to like give him a small splotch of gray hair. So there was a bit where I was very confused because I didn't know he was supposed to be old and that was his daughter.
Point he doesn't age at all.
I thought it was a different passenger who we just hadn't heard from yet. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So as we alluded to, Juliette Binoche is a crazy lady who is very into the idea of birth, and is sort of treating these prisoners as guinea pigs, and trying to sort of get them fertile as possible to get a baby there. And they are all prisoners.
They're death row inmates.
Yes. So they're gonna die anyway, so they fucking send them to the black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like. Real quick, let's just a side note.
Yes.
The fuck room. So
the fuck box.
The fuck box. Why was that installed there? Did the site just install like?
Did Juliette Binoche create it while they were in space? Did she sneak it across?
I would also agree. I wish the fuck box had been explored further.
Instead, it had one real
Because that was the only
real scene.
Maybe it was just to like keep a sexy aura on the ship, just to keep the semen flowing. I don't know.
But it's not explained at all.
Maybe they put those on the ship just so the ideally so the prisoners don't rape each other. Which, spoiler alert, didn't really work.
We will get into that scene. But as Ryan
was rough.
that scene fucking sucked. Again, we will get to that part. What Ryan is saying is that there is a fucking room where you just...
A fucking room?
where you straddle in and this machine fucks you, but it fucks you in the way in which you desire? It was fucking weird.
It was crazy.
It was.
Oh, boy.
I've heard of Raw Dog, but this is...
So this movie is going for a very surreal, like, fucking 2000, like, what the fuck is going on? And then there's this...
What if 2001 was really horny?
But then, like, really not okay. So yeah, that's a weird scene that it's just there, and it makes in the theory that yes, this is Julia is sort of like
that just doesn't seem sanitary.
No,
they all share this fuck box. Fucking
but
discount,
it has
fucking
like a
discount Bo Burnham went in there all the time.
It has like a fucking it has like a fucking like refractory period though, where it's like you guys like brr, like sounds like it's like a magic box.
It like flushes out the fluids.
Yeah,
too.
it's like
I liked that.
It's a whole thing.
I did not like that.
Oh yeah, gross. Ew.
So anyways,
I like it in the sense of like So I like oh that's. Ugh.
So if there's two lead characters, and there's Sir Robert Pattinson and I forget what's her name? Like
Mia Goth?
Was that right? Mia Goth's character.
The one they were like clashing.
And they were like friends when they were younger, or did I misinterpret that?
No, I think
that was
just. I think the flashbacks
that
you're thinking of. I think that was just Robert Pattinson's crime that he did when he was a child.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
No.
But I really don't remember most of the flashbacks.
Well, they're still
kind
of close-ish as
she was just
prisoner
like a
friends.
Drug addict, right?
Yes,
I think so.
Yes,
but yeah, Robert Pattinson
Although to be fair, she did a lot more crimes.
Robert Pattinson killed someone because they hurt his dog or killed his dog or something.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a continuation of his character from Good Time,
right.
The dog lover.
And Mia Goth is sort of important because she's the person who sort of produces the baby. But the fuck box is important because Robert Pattinson will use the fuck box.
Yeah, he's edging in space.
It's fucking November. So he refuses to come.
Time moves slower in space, so
and I don't know if Juliet is.
I
don't know if Juliet is actually attracted to him or just because he's holding out and she's been on some fucking alpha forums where it's like, nah, guys, you gotta keep your cum. You gotta be fucking strong. Fucking, I don't know. She wants
his genes
yes,
for the baby.
She wants his
She thinks that his genes are strong enough that the baby will be able to survive space.
Boy.
I'll tell you whose genes are not strong enough for the baby to survive in space. Mia Goth. And you know what? We're huge fans of Mia Goth on this show. Like, I don't think I could be more of a fan of any person. But my God, she looks unhealthy. In everything, really.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole bit of A Cure for Wellness.
Yeah.
But yeah, due to some shenanigans, she gets inseminated with his baby. I don't think either party was really aware.
It's weird because like there's a moment where like a lot of the stuff in this movie finally happens, and the rest is a lot of character and like explanation, and I can only think of the one moment in that movie where the whole movie happens, like where the rape happens, where the whole thing happens.
Which rape are you referring to? There's several.
Oh, that's true. I guess so, huh?
But
the Bo Burnham one.
The Bo Burnham one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess Andre 3000. I want to give Andre 3000 a moment because Andre 3000 is in this movie as the only black person here. No, there's two. Never mind. I take that back. But that's all I want to say. Andre 3000's movie. I enjoyed his presence. I enjoyed reminding myself.
I was like a good Andre 3000.
I enjoyed that he's in it.
Class of 3000, underrated show on Cartoon Network.
Back to the whole thing of this movie. That is the only thing I can remember. So, Juliette Binoche. Okay, actually, no. The rape. The
Bo Burnham scene.
Take this. Yes.
The Bo Burnham with no neck and several tattoos.
He just decides, like, out of nowhere, like, I'm gonna go to Mia Goth's room and just fucking go to town on her. And he does that, and then people start, stopping him, and he would, like, get up, beat them, and then get back to it, and then someone else would come to the room to stop him, and then he would get up and beat them, like, half to death, and then get back to...
And he dies incredibly brutally.
Yeah.
That whole scene was fucking awful. Was fucking miserable.
Oh, yeah.
You know how I felt now? To understand how terrible and disgusting, and I'm sure if fucking, what's her fucking name? Clarke Denis was hearing me, he's like, yes, it's fucking art. This is fucking art. I felt about the same sense of sensations I did when we saw that Southbound scene with the fucking, like, the whole, like, car wreck. Mm-hmm. That rape was fucking disgusting, and I would have loved a content warning. Holy moly, that was awful.
Yeah.
Just miserable. Okay, I'm done. That sucked.
Yeah.
It did suck.
It was, like Ryan mentioned it, like, it was fucking assault, and it was brutal, and it was awful.
Not just, like, an assault of her, but, like, everyone who attempted to, like, help resolve the situation, and then the situation would keep going. It's brutal and horrifying, and then more rape happens in the movie.
And I'm trying to find, was that scene? Did that scene elevate the story? Did that scene, like, other than you're trying to make an uncomfortable and a very bummer fucking space movie? If that is your whole goal, then you did it. But I got nothing from this motion picture after that. And we're not even talking about the fake cum yet. We'll get to the fake cum in the next rape. Let's have a conversation about that. Because I feel this movie is blah. And that rape scene for me ruined it completely. And even without it, the movie's just kind of existing.
Yeah.
And I guess you could have just uncomfortable art for the sake of uncomfortable art. Mm-hmm. But for me, like I felt with Mother, like
that drew the line.
For me, like something like
well, not just it didn't like cross it, more of like just shattered it. Just like sprayed its load all over that line.
Oh my god,
disgusting. Yeah. So the other scene, I would define it as like two more.
And again, all this, there's so much that happens in like 20 minutes of this movie. The whole movie.
So
happens.
like the night after that occurs,
it's like 2 hours later,
Gilliam
I think.
Binoche goes into Robert Pattinson's room, fucking jerks. No, she doesn't jerk. She rapes him just straight up, and then like
So she gives everyone like a sleepy thing.
Yeah.
So everyone's sleeping.
And then she rapes him, and then she gets out and like kind of gets the semen out of her. Fucking spoon hands it across to her lab.
She like fucking catches her cream pie.
Yes, exactly.
God
brings it to the lab and gets like a syringe of Robert Pattinson spunk, and then goes into Mia Goth's room, the one who was just raped horribly, and then sticks it in her hoo-ha and gets her pregnant. Which I would also count as rape. Bold take, I know. But
and that's the thing, like the movie is supposed to be a bummer. It's supposed to be, I've seen Sallow, but I think Sallow's a better movie than this. I got nothing from this, man. Like it's just a bad time for me, and like the parts, like the fuck box was fun, but I don't know.
No complaints about
Andre 3000 is just like, here's where I guess I'll die now, and he just fucking sits down and he fucking dies. And then we fast forward. So that's actually the sort of that rape actually leads to the child. Mm-hmm. But then Mia Goth kills whoever was. Did she kill the?
There was like a pilot lady who was supposed to go on the expedition out to the black hole,
and she goes in the black hole.
She goes
to the black hole. Yeah,
that scene was awesome.
That was cool.
Holy
that was the best part of that movie. Actually, that was cool as hell. But yeah, and then we sort of see Robert Pattinson back again with the child, but then we fast forward and the child's just
like
old
15?
and acts like the most fake child I've ever seen in my entire life. And then they fucking go back to the black hole, and then it ends. And I'm left with nothing.
They found the dog pod.
They did
with all the doggies.
That was weird.
Space doggies. I think it was maybe supposed to imply that there's like they are the human version, and they had sent dogs up. First.
Dog criminals.
Well, no, but like how it's like we sent a monkey to space, and we sent a dog to space to test the conditions on a living creature. But
I wonder how that worked out for those dogs.
Some of them were doing fine.
Oh man.
Much like how some of the people on the Robert Pattinson ship are doing fine. Him.
I don't know. There's just sometimes I feel like I see something and I just don't understand at all.
So
and
this is giving you Mother vibes?
Kind of. But except...
Like, is it as severe?
No, the person who made this is more talented than whatever is fucking...
I would say that.
It's more subtle.
I do kind of want to watch more of her movies, but... I don't know.
From what I've heard, I don't know if they're all bummers. I think they're all more like real, like.
I want to see what her voice is, because I think that this is a bold message, a bold statement.
Like, man, I don't even know.
This is one that like I'm very conflicted on, because like it has stuff.
It's shot very well.
It's shot very
some
well.
Really cool. Robert Pattinson looks great.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
his performance is really great.
Is it like it's a very muted performance, a very low key performance. But he's good. I was glad to see him in something newish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like seeing that cast thrive, except for Taylor Lautner. He could just.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cast of this movie. No, yeah.
Taylor the cast of this movie was thriving. Clearly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's high life. I don't know what else to say about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's fine, really. Just that I just wanted to yell because that rape scene fucking sucked. It was bad.
It was brutal.
Jesus Christ. Man. You know, it was a good rape scene, Showgirls. Just kidding. No.
I do not remember a single thing about Showgirls.
Oh, boy. Anyways, moving to something completely different. That was High Life. Once again, Avengers Endgame. So, listeners, if you listen to this podcast, you know that Carrie and I are not the biggest Marvel super fans, if you will. And we sometimes rain on Ryan's parade. And I apologize.
That's honestly fair.
That's my hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I felt very indifferent going into this. And I saw it late, actually. You guys, Carrie, did you go with everyone else?
Yep.
I made a point to try to make us see it as early as possible, not only for the spoiler reasons, but because was 3 hours, and I didn't want to. Like, I like these movies, but like I wanted to get this over with. To be honest with you,
I will say, for me, this movie flew by. I really enjoyed it. But anyways, so yeah, Avengers Endgame. Ryan, you're the most positive here on Earth about this whole cinematic universe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this thing?
It was really good. Very great. Not as great as some people. Like,
I guess we should probably say, if you haven't, this is a spoiler.
Yeah.
I think everyone who's wanted to see it has seen it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
It's impossible to talk about it. That's spoilers.
But yeah, I think it's really great. It's not like I've seen stuff like Robert Downey Jr. deserves an Oscar for this. And it's
they say that all the time.
No.
I think the screenwriter may actually deserve some sort of recognition because it's very well written.
It is, yeah. It's a nice jaunt. That's what I really appreciated about it. Like, it is definitely pandering to like the other movies, but like it never like went overboard.
Because the moments
it just felt fun.
The moments where people freaked or lose their minds, I was just like, that's just very well done, and you did it a good. Like you could have done it in a cheap way, but you did it in a smart way. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel the same. I like it a whole lot. I think it's probably one of the best movies Marvel has ever done.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I think they did a great job of like doing the whole thing, like, well, you gotta go back, Tony.
Yeah.
All that stuff was done very well. Like just the fact that like, because when I said we saw Infinity War happen, when the snap happened, I was like, oh shit. But then I realized, there's not a movie. They're all gonna come back.
Yeah.
But the movie starts with us like, no. Like, for years, we just lived this life.
Right.
And we stay with him. Like, that's great. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we have an opportunity
to fix this.
And just those 30 minutes makes you feel like, okay, we're not just fucking fixing it, fucking snap our fingers. It's all fucking...
I think that, like, intro sequence when they all, like, go to Thanos on his little plant world.
He's trying to make his soup.
He's trying to make his soup. That was the first scene in this movie where I could feel like the audience be like, oh. Because, like, they just go there and, like, spoiler, they fucking kill him. Like,
Thor goes for the head.
Yeah, they really go for it, and he's just fucking dead. And I felt like everyone and, you know, it's resolved, but, like, you know, what he did can't be undone. So I could, like, feel the audience like, what am I in for now? What's the rest of this movie? And that's
the gloves
are
off, you might say.
The gloves are...
The gauntlet is off.
Yeah. And that's
the gauntlet has been thrown down.
It's really cool being in a Marvel movie where like you don't exactly know what's going to happen.
That's really true.
Yeah, that is
the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer came out recently, and now I know the exact plot of that movie. How it will go beat for beat.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Don't if you want anything to be surprised.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal in the trailer more?
Oh, he is.
But from the feeling I get from that movie, like Avengers Endgame, I would say it's a definitive end. Like we don't like this is the end of this chapter. And Spider-Man Far From Home, the trailer, from what I've heard people talking about, feels like a would-be end credit stinger. Like, oh, here's how we're gonna figure it all.
It's basically like, hey, stuff got even crazier. Here's how everyone's reacting to that, because everyone got brought back to life, and that seems to be the idea of that. Like, how do you deal with everyone died, and then everyone had to mourn that for 5 years, and then everyone's back, and how does society like readjust to that?
Right.
And also Spider-Man being like, I want a break because that was stressful. I don't know if you saw that, but that was stressful.
So Carrie, what did you feel about this movie?
I thought it was gonna be boring, and I told afterwards, I leaned over to Greg and I was like, it wasn't as boring as I thought it was gonna be. He's like, why'd you think it would be boring? but there were parts of it that I really liked, and my favorite element of these movies now is Thor after Ragnarok. And I thought
he's really coming to his own.
I really thought they handled him well in this movie, because
I've heard some mixed things on it, but
I
think it's good.
I heard people were saying that it was like they were making fun of him for being fat, but I didn't see it that way. I saw it as that was how he dealt with the grief of everything that's happened.
I think the humor of that just comes from like, we see him as this like guy, this like very like
his title is the God of Thunder.
His title is the God of Thunder. Very like, a classic like jock guy. And then he's just like becomes this like 40-year-old depressed dad.
Emotion because of his emotions.
That's funny. The fact that he had like a beer belly isn't the joke. It's that he's
hurting.
He's suffering.
Yeah.
He's suffering. Yeah, exactly. He's playing Fortnite with Korg.
That's so fucking
Oh my
funny.
God, that was so great.
I was so happy.
They didn't even CGI out the pineapple shirt.
Yeah, there was just Taika's shirt. He was wearing it. God damn
my God,
it.
that
was so
great.
good. No, but yeah, I really liked Thor's arc in this movie, and how
it was great.
He was just over it. He was sad, but then he got to have the catharsis of going and seeing his mom one more time, and then he finds out he's still worthy, and I was oh my God.
It was very much the most human, because it also felt like for him, like, he's very desensitized. Sort of like how I am. It's like, fucking, I don't know, man. Like, I've seen everything, and at this point, like, the stuff that, like, really, like, how so many people have died that I've known, and like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, it was a very, I think, out of all this stuff, like, the Tony Stark stuff is just, it's just, like, the most basic superhero shit. Yeah. But, like, the Thor stuff has been actually very human and really good.
He's pretty much, of the main Avengers, he's like the only one that I care about. So the rest of this movie was fine, but I really liked all the
I will say though, man, is it weird, it sucks that Thor: The Dark World turned out the way it did, because we went back to it and like, fucking alright.
No one's excited for this.
Everyone's favorite movie.
They went back to Avengers, which like, I don't think
that was a great moment.
I don't think any of us like Avengers.
No.
But like going back to it, like that
it made me feel ancient.
Yeah. Going back to Guardians was fun.
That was fun.
That was
cool.
That's like, and Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah. But I mean, this movie was good enough that it made the shittiest one.
Oh yeah, fun.
It makes you feel fondly towards the one that you don't like.
And also realize that his mom got a shit shrift to this whole series.
Yeah.
So, and this was the moment that you get, okay.
Yeah, because like when I think of Thor, like I don't think about his relationship with his mom.
No, not at all.
But then like I saw that movie, I was like,
oh, okay.
He loved his mom. That's great.
Right. Because in the first movie is All on Earth, and then the second movie is The Dark World, and we're back, but like then shit fucking...
Yeah, and then his mom
Doctor
dies,
Who
and we're
man comes
expected
up.
to feel bad, but he doesn't really have a character at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about I've heard mixed things about Captain America's stuff. I've heard some people felt like his decision at the end was, it's so out of character. Why would he do that?
No,
I felt the same
out of
way.
character at all. I was just gonna say, I think the scene of him fighting himself was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, that was
so funny. Just for him to have that moment of like, yeah, I get it, dude. You're
Yeah,
trying
like,
too
right.
hard.
Shut up. God, you're the worst version of me. But yeah, I read a lot. I've heard a lot of criticism. People don't like the Black Widow stuff, which I think that's fair.
Her character has been the most like
not used
and the most like indecisive. Like, we don't know what we're doing with you. Really.
I mean, to be fair, like they tried to put her in direction
50-50
in Age
booking,
of Ultron, and then people hated that because it was bad, and then they just had to course correct it. But they did that in terms of, let's just erase her character.
Yeah.
Black Widow who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the major issue. Like, it's just like...
But, like, people being like, why would he go back in time and, like, be happy with the woman that he loves?
What an idiot.
Yeah, what a dumbass. After all he's done, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, because really, like, the people that meant to, like, this whole Bucky thing is the biggest deal to him.
Yeah.
It makes sense that,
The
like,
whole-
the other
his
person he cared about is, yeah.
Yeah, like, his whole, like, driving forth through all these movies is, like, reconnecting with his friend.
Yes.
So, like, he has the opportunity to, like, go back and, like, be happy. Like, oh.
I think, the biggest thing for me, I think, like, I think why it was so important, for me, the not knowing anything was actually very important, because, like we said, it's not like we just can't talk about the without spoiling it because of what happens to certain characters, because the whole movie concept is like pretty fucking big spoiler. Like, the fact we're gonna go back, like the fact like the part where like Nebula said like he wasn't the only one doing something in 2014, like that's so weird to think about these movies as a linear thing that happened while we lived our lives. It's a weird thing. And that was so cool. Like, it was good fan service, but like, if we weren't gonna come like end it at last movie, in which the last movie felt the very stereotypical superhero arc, this was a very original. Like, I think like in terms of like writing the situation, like how are we gonna end this arc? I thought it was so creative, and it was even though I don't care about these movies, I've seen them all, so I have some nostalgia for it. Boy, those Avengers costumes in 2012 don't look good anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh,
holy
yeah.
moly.
Bad. Captain America's especially was the worst.
And even though like some of the like the character arcs of these characters is very superhero, it is interesting to see like the first movie is very much like here are the Avengers toys, the Avengers comic book, the Avengers, and now they're all like fucking fucked up and like whatever the hell. That was cool. Yeah, I liked it a whole bunch. I thought the end scene was fucking cool.
It was
It
very
was
cool.
fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, that end scene, like, man, like I haven't heard like that many people like cheering in an audience.
I was just gonna say, most of the fun for me from this movie is seeing it with a group of people.
Yeah, mine was kind of dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When Black Panther showed up, there was like one guy. I don't know if you heard him. Like one
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
like,
he was
back
close to
the
me.
left, and he was like, yeah. It was amazing.
And then, that part I heard a lot of cheers.
And the hammer part,
hammer.
I cheered.
I cheered for that
Me.
too. That was fun. Yeah, that
I was
great,
like,
though.
hell yeah.
Well, like I was like, hell yeah. Then Thor was like, yeah, and I was like,
Yeah! Yes!
And that's also like a cool, like Age of Ultron is one of my least favorite Marvel movies
that was
ever.
rough.
And that was like the one like good callback from that. For not only like they hinted that he could pick up the hammer, but Thor's reaction was like, oh no, this fucking asshole, he better not do it. And then
But now
he's like,
happy.
yeah, and that's awesome.
Aw.
That's why Thor's the best
I
character in
love
all
Thor.
these movies. So I'm glad he's the one who's sticking around of the original three.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
Holy fucking
Oh my
shit.
God.
Of course, the big news, and everyone's excited. I'm fucking stoked. Robert Downey Jr.'s character died. Tony Stark is dead.
I was making jokes about how me and Ryan should have made bingo cards for this movie,
Oh,
and
we
I
should
said
have.
that Iron Man dies should have been the free space.
God, if he did die,
Time
that
to
would've been-
retire.
Yes.
The ghost of him will show up at some point, and everyone will be like, ah!
I think
I
think it's gonna show up a lot sooner than
the
we think.
relationship between Peter Parker and Tony Stark means nothing to me.
It means nothing to me either because he's a creepy 50-year-old man hanging out with a 15-year-old. So you know what? I don't think it's.
It's unfortunate that Gwyneth Paltrow's actual persona has made the character Pepper Potts not as cool for me.
Oh yeah, like I just see like the
I'm just
founder of Goop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
Goop.
picturing Gwyneth Paltrow with a fucking egg in her vagina.
It's totally fine. Just shove a jade egg in your vagina. It may cause some problems, but
It's fine.
I like Normal Hulk a lot. Love the.
Oh my god,
cool
that
Hulk.
was
that
a
was the-
huge. Like
that
I
was
knew
awesome.
that would be in this movie just because. But I saw characters like what?
I had no fucking idea what was happening. I saw like mid-sized Hulk with glasses and a t-shirt, and I was like,
Did I miss something? Did
huh?
I forget?
And I was looking. I was just like agape jaw, like at the movie, like what?
Yeah, that was great. I
I
loved
was
that.
so
You had the same confused face as Paul Rudd, like
Exactly. Oh my god.
Which is funny because like he's never met the Hulk before, so that's his first experience.
And then when they go back to 2012, and he's just like, nah. It's very good.
That's great. Yeah.
I feel like Ant-Man had some decent bits in this.
Ant-Man's good. That's what I'll say.
Like,
Ant-Man's good. The Ant-Man movies.
I liked the taco joke.
That was a good
Got all
joke.
his tacos blown
I like
apart,
how
and then Hulk gave him his tiny.
It was
tacos.
very weird that Michelle Pfeiffer was in this as well.
Oh,
Like, she
yeah,
walked
him-
out of the thing and was like, all
Him
right.
fucking like throwing a fit because the kids don't want a selfie with them, and Thor and Hulk fucking dabbing like a weird dad.
yeah.
Oh my god, that was great.
It also like watching. I was like, man, that fucking how much weight and how much like meaning Thor Ragnarok gave the fucking series is intense.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the whole thing with the Hulk and Thor, like it's not like the Black Widow stuff with Hawkeye, because like that stuff has been like you didn't know what to fucking do with this character.
Yeah.
But the Thor Ragnarok stuff that was fantastic, and the fact that we
Yeah.
can bring it here and have Hulk be the guy who tells Thor, "Come on, man!" Like
Come on.
all that stuff is good, and the stuff with Valkyrie is a fan favorite, and she was just
yes.
all the Thor Ragnarok stuff that connects back to this was like, man, that movie did so much good for this whole series.
As someone who, Thor Ragnarok is the best Marvel movie of all time.
Yes.
This movie did a good job. Did a good job with that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they actually did like, he did like a new Ragnarok, like a new,
Yeah.
all that stuff was good. Like that was cool because I thought they killed everyone in the start of Infinity War. Yeah. I don't know. That was very good. It was very, very good.
Again, I'm excited to see what they do with these movies now that they don't have this overall...
It's weird, right?
They're not building up to
That's the
something.
thing.
Yeah.
It feels like I don't have to watch these anymore.
Yeah, true.
It's-
I'm out.
It's just, I wonder like how they're gonna solve that because for me it very much feels like the thing happened.
Yeah.
You can keep doing it, but
Well,
like
I think
I'm
with this,
not
people are
gonna
gonna
come.
be like very hyped up, like with Iron Man 3. Like people don't like that, but that movie
There's
made like,
Galactus.
billions of dollars,
Right.
Because it came out right after the first Avengers movie, so people were like very hyped about.
And Iron Man
that.
3 is actually very good. It's
It is
weird.
very
It's weird
good.
how going back like, oh man, that movie was great actually.
Yeah, that movie's really good.
It's very
and people
good.
are like, the main
It's
it's
like-
isn't supposed to be a.
It's like top 5.
sad
It's
man.
very
It's
good.
very good.
Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, Avengers.
I'm not looking
Endgame,
forward to Spider-Man. I'm not.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I like that he's played Mysterio.
Mysterio, yes,
I like-
very good.
I like the running joke that I've been seeing on Twitter of people filming Jake Gyllenhaal with the cast interacting with fans, and he seems a little distant from the fans, but he's still being nice. But someone made this joke where it's like, is it in his contract or something that he has to be nice to his fans?
Oh, all right, gotcha.
Because he's never done anything like this before.
That's true.
So
not really.
it's really fun
Huh.
to beat it because he's
Prince of Persia.
he's very like Ryan Gosling-esque, where like he would do one of these normally.
Yeah.
And, like I feel like he kind of hates them.
But, like at this point, everyone's doing it. Like, come on,
Yeah,
guys.
so
like, who
he's
cares?
like,
Come
everyone-
on, Jake. Everyone,
come
do
on,
it.
Jake. And he's like, oh, fine. So he feels out of place, but he's I fucking love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's hilarious. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him in this movie. The Spider-Man movies at least have had good villains.
So at this point, have they laid out the next phase stuff?
No, we not only know for certain Spider-Man, but there's gonna be a Black Widow movie.
'Cause
There's
it-
gonna be an Eternals movie.
And there's
gonna be
like some
Guardians
TV
3.
series, right?
There's
We know
gonna be-
Guardians 3, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be a Shang-Chi movie, which would be fun. He just does karate.
But,
Nice.
Like at some point, they're going. Like Dark Phoenix is coming out. At some point,
Oh.
Kevin
Kevin Feige's gonna walk in like, all right, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Huh? We're thinking about making a fucking Nightcrawler thing. It's like, go fuck yourself. We're not doing that. Because at some point they have to intersect, right? At some point,
Yeah.
like we're doing this now. Let's just go. And I feel like because Galactus is a X-Men character,
Yeah,
right?
more Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's like the only like thing I could think of.
I don't know. I would hope that they like do something with like a human character, like Norman Osborn. Because like in the comics, he fucks with all the Avengers, but it's just mostly Spider-Man.
And also, they made a few loopholes that they can go in. That's the thing I didn't like. That they didn't put a tease, but they let themselves like holes to fill in.
Yeah.
Like when Loki gets the Tesseract back for a split second, and then
so
never is brought. There's never brought.
I think that was just a gag. I don't think that's anything.
I mean,
A
the
lot
hole,
of-
but the hole is there. Like, if we want to, we go in there.
One thing I will say about this is everyone's dissection of like what this means for the timeline It means fucking nothing.
Yeah, I don't
for
think
the
it means
timeline.
anything.
Fucking Captain America went back in time. He probably punched Loki and got the fucking thing back.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I heard someone talking about that. I just am imagining Captain America going to put all the stones back. So when he went to Natalie Portman, did he just have to like inject it back into her?
Oh, right.
She's like, come here.
It's like, there's this giant squirrel who like just sucked a stone at me. It's like, oh, that's crazy. Brie? Oh, that'd be great.
And I assume they're making another Black Panther movie.
Oh yeah, they are gonna. They're gonna make Black Panther 2. Doctor Strange 2 was confirmed by the director, which I like where Doctor Strange is going now.
Now I liked him.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I think Doctor Strange, the movie itself, was not great.
Oh yeah, but like him in this and Infinity War were
Yes,
great.
the character. I like the
I'm
character.
sad that Doctor Strange 1 was
and Thor.
the opening and closing of Mads Mikkelsen's presence in the Marvel universe.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think he was better in the few bits he was in Thor Ragnarok than he was in the entirety of the Doctor Strange movie.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyways,
Fucking with Thor. Oh my god.
that was Avengers Endgame. It was very good. I like it.
Falling for 13 minutes. That movie's so fucking funny.
All right. So, Under the Silver Lake. Did y'all pull the trigger and watch this digitally?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy. You thought Avengers Endgame was a long movie, George. This movie is something else. So Under the Silver Lake, it's been delayed like 3 times.
We've mentioned it multiple times. The next movie, the director of it follows.
Basically, Andrew Garfield plays this guy. He goes on a date with this woman, and he goes to meet her the next day, and she's gone.
She is vanished.
She's vanished.
Her apartment is
Paper
empty.
Towns.
Yeah.
Paper Towns. And he's trying to solve this mystery of like, it begins with like, he wants to find out where she's been. It kind of like devolves into like him like figuring out like this secret society and how Hollywood really works.
It feels like Paper Towns with a bit of Eyes Wide Shut, with some, I don't know, there's some like decoding cult messages and then like underground bunker. It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy. This is like a conspiracy theorist's favorite film of all time. It's crazy. It's a hard movie to talk about without spoiling. Like I'd spoil Avengers Endgame to anyone. But like this,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but this is one where it's like,
So is it worth watching then? If you're saying it's not,
I think it's worth watching.
Okay.
I really like it.
I think the main complaints I've heard from people is how it doesn't really resolve a lot of things.
Yeah.
But given like what the movie is, I feel like the answers are there. You just have to solve them yourself, which is what makes it fun and interesting.
I've also heard people complaining that because
You don't
his
see his
character,
dick.
well, but his character is supposed to be kind of a scumbag, low life, and so I think all of the choices in the movie that can be kind of perceived as perhaps not the greatest for the ladies present are purposeful, and that's the way I see it. But I've seen people who didn't see it that way and feel that it is giving into the things that it is supposed to be making fun of, if that makes sense.
It's been a while, and I don't know exactly what scenes you're talking about because there's a lot.
Well, just the overall air and treatment towards the
of the ladies in general. Yeah, I get that. Well, yeah, most of the ladies.
But I don't feel that way. I feel like it all
most of the ladies
for the movie.
I feel like for what the movie is, I feel like that makes sense for why it would be like that. Just because it's all about, society and
how we live in one.
How we live in one. I didn't word that right, but you know what I mean. But yeah, this movie is crazy.
I really like this movie.
I need to watch it again.
So we just leave it at that then?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay.
There's some really cool imagery in it, and it does some super unique things. And yeah, just its presentation, the overall vibe. I just really, really, really enjoyed it. And I think...
All right. So for folks, that is Under the Silver Lake. Well, I'm glad it actually turned out to be good. Because
really
that one sort of was flying up in the air for such a long time.
Yeah, it sucks that it just was left to die, basically.
Yeah, so is it only paid digital?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, this next movie, oh boy. So this is, the next movie we're going to talk about here is Her Smell. And so I guess full disclosure, we were given free tickets for this movie by Alamo here in Omaha. Holy moly, this movie is fantastic.
Yes.
I love this movie so much. So this movie is sort of the chronicling of the fall of this rock band, but really the person at the front, the lead singer of the rock band. And it's sort of like The Wrestler, kind of.
I haven't seen it, but
that was very much
from what I've heard about.
That's what I felt like.
I
This
can-
is
I
like
can
the
see
rock
that.
version of The Wrestler. And I think, we've all seen like sort of behind the music. Like in reality, the story, it's cliche because the story has been so true in reality.
Yes.
That the fame and everything gets to someone. But this movie puts it so intense, it never stops, and when it stops finally, it is like, oh my gosh.
So stark.
Oh,
That you're just
yeah.
like, whoa.
So Elizabeth Moss plays the lead character. She's the lead singer for Something She.
Yes, correct.
And so the movie is told. It cuts in between like parts where like they were just signed, parts where they are on the brink of destruction, to back and forth.
Yes.
And then finally towards the end we go like it kind of stays static. It jumps a little bit, but. Yeah, man, holy moly. I think this movie's fantastic, but Ryan, what'd you think of it?
I completely agree. I knew nothing going into this.
So did
and
I, really.
I just like was just so like in this like character's head, and just like the anxiety of just like probably not in her head, because her head is what I feel like if you were really in her head, you would
She
like,
feels dangerous
you
because I don't know what the fuck's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
it
next.
feels like you're in that room and you're forced to like
Yes.
observe this thing,
Yes.
and like you can't intervene when like like it could go south immediately. Like,
Yes.
like at any moment, it could like just go into like a violent rage, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And it's intense, and I haven't like had a film where just like the score has just like filled me with like
It's really good.
like I felt like people were like watching.
It's like
me.
it is scored like a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
There were parts of it that not as loud and vibrant, but it made me think of some of the instrumentation from Annihilation almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very much. Yeah. And the thing is, and I don't know, it's definitely the performance Elizabeth Moss gives,
love her.
but it's also the way it's shot. Like it said,
Oh,
like
yeah.
when I say intense, like the move, everything is a close-up shot in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
It is always a close-up shot, and
Apart for one section.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
But also, like, it is not shot in one shot, but like the scenes, the sections that happen in the movie, because it's separated into like chapters, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
here's for those moments that like, if you're like,
It's literally like one event.
Yes, it is
one long, intense event,
right.
followed by another.
And the thing that it feels like it is like just on the edge of your seat, but it is the most real human thing. But it is the way that it is shot in the performance Elizabeth Moss gives that it is just, it is just so intense. Yeah, man, I don't know what to say else, but this movie is fantastic. I think there's not as much music. It's not about the music.
No.
Not necessarily.
There's a
no.
few. The times there is music that is playing. It's really good. Like it really is good. I think her band plays twice, and then the Cardellini band plays
Right.
one time.
Right.
Well, and there's the sequence of her playing the piano
Oh yeah,
for her
the piano
daughter. That
sequence,
was my
too.
favorite
Oh,
part
that's
of the
really
movie.
good.
Yeah, and the movie is like long.
It was kind of long, yeah.
And it feels long, but not a bad. It feels long because
It feels
so
long
much
because it wears you out.
fucking
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Because
it is a long movie, but it's also like there's only like 5 scenes.
yes,
And it's like, whoa. It's like I've never had I don't think I've seen a movie where it's just like that
right.
condensed.
When it gives you a break, it's when they after the fallout, and so we
Yeah.
can finally like calm down. But that was also like terrifying still because we still don't know like. Is this character going to sort of relapse in a way? Like, there's that part where, like, where the fuck is she? Where the fuck? And that sort of Annihilation almost horror score kicks in. And it's like, ah! And then, like,
it's really not clear like what happened.
Yes.
I feel, and that's the scariest part.
Because like the way it's shot in the soundtrack perfectly replicates that feeling, those butterflies of anxiety that you think something bad's gonna happen. And even through like until the very end, it like once they're finally on stage, then it's like, okay, everything worked out after all. Like until they start playing, it's like, man, I don't fucking know. Something terrible can go wrong at any moment. Yeah, I don't know. Carrie, do you have anything else to say about this one? It's like top of the year for me. It is fucking fantastic.
I just love Elizabeth Moss, and like I haven't even seen her in that many things. I've seen her in this and that High Rise movie,
right?
And she was in Us earlier this year, and she was one of my favorite parts of Us. And but she just has such a magnetism in this role, and you're just so drawn into her presence and the way she performs it. Whether it be for a good reason or a bad reason, but I just really like her, and I think she brought this movie to a place where not a lot of people maybe could have done it.
Right.
I don't know. She's
is like a performance movie.
Oh my god, yeah. And she's just, I don't know, I just really am drawn to her all the time, and I really like her, and I think this is a fantastic movie. It's
really good. I mean, I say The Wrestler, but because that's how I remember it, but it's been so long, and I think I appreciate it now that I actually watch wrestling now, but. For me, like, from what I remember about The Wrestler and how I know about wrestling and what I know about punk rock, it is the part that was very hard for me to watch was the part where they're recording and you have the younger talent there.
Yes.
Because it's so stereotypical. I'm only coming from wrestling, where the people who are on the brink of just, like, fucking, because wrestling just fucks you up. And there are these young people who, like, they grew up watching them, and, like, they're so whatever, and they'll do anything for them, but really they're just squashing their talents and using their talent. Yep. And it's weird, like you feel that stuff in retrospect, and even when you hang out with shitty people and people who hurt you, you see it in retrospect. But
in that moment you don't see it.
Yeah, but this movie still has all the subtext, and like it doesn't like have that like, yeah, this is what's happening, but I could feel it happening, and I was like, oh, fuck you so hard. God damn it, you're gonna ruin these kids' careers. Oh man, this movie's great. I don't know.
It is great.
Yes.
So that's Her Smell again. I assume it's digital. I saw that it's coming to digital soon.
Nice.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Because this was a very limited.
Yeah, it was like up at the Alamo for about a week.
Right.
But that's also because like, and like right now I was looking through like the smaller movies. Like we're in the summer, so like they usually have like a week before like something like Aladdin or Detective Pikachu comes up. So yeah, Her Smell's probably one of the best movies of this year so far.
For me, it's Under the Silver Lake, Her Smell, Us.
Right, Us. I need to rewatch it.
Climax.
Yeah, Her Smell might be my
Man Who
number
Killed
one
Don
for me
Quixote.
then.
Mine's definitely Under the Silver Lake, but
okay.
Mine.
I think mine is as well.
I need
right now.
I need to look at my top 10 because I've just been like putting stuff in there randomly lately. Just like this was also 4 stars, so I'll just put it there for now.
I've been giving out a lot of 4 stars recently.
It's been a good
I don't know
year.
if movies are getting better or if I'm just getting softer.
Yeah.
All right, well that's all.
No, you saw Curse of Llorona. So.
That is the lowest rating I've given out in a very long time. So
I still got it. All right, so that's all for April. I think we did a good job of covering a lot that came out. So I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back there. May, the first movie on this list, is a movie that, if you pitched it to me, I would say sounds terrible, but seeing the trailers, it seems all right, actually. That's Long Shot, which is Point Grey, Seth Rogen's production company, starring Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, where Charlize Theron is sort of running for president.
In line to become president?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen just plays this writer guy, but they used to know each other when he was a child because Charlize Theron's character used to babysit him, right. And they meet up now, and it's sort of a cliche romance story, but for me, from the trailers, it seems like it's done well.
It seems like it could have charm.
And I've only heard good things from people who've seen it. So
I don't.
Seth Rogen can actually have charm when he's not making.
He's likable.
Yeah, he's likable.
He seems like an actual good person.
He seems to just want to do movies where he's smoking pot.
Yes, that is also true.
But and like if that's what you wait movies be, it's fine. But like he does have the range to do more.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
But yeah, this
Seth
looks.
Rogen's a nice guy. Solid.
I'll probably watch this once it comes out digitally on DVD.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I'll actually
Yeah,
take
we're
this,
the movie theater.
take the commitment.
This
to
seems
watch
like,
it,
oh,
but-
this is on HBO Go. All right.
Yeah, that's probably. But it looks.
That's like why we watched Tag.
Yeah, exactly. This is on HBO.
Fucking Tag, am I right?
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, why did we watch Tag?
John Hamm.
Oh, that's true. That's really true.
The
Hannibal, who was underused. Like
Who?
Hannibal.
Oh, Hannibal. I
Yeah.
just didn't hear what you said.
Coming off her incredible role in Serenity.
Can we just take a minute to talk about Serenity, please?
I think, sure. Serenity is a fucking movie, y'all.
It's a masterpiece.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, if you didn't realize, was that early this year?
Hathaway.
Yeah, it came out in like February, April territory.
It sounds like one of those kind
Yeah.
of movies.
Well, it was supposed to come out of fall last year, and it got pushed back.
Because it was too
And-
bold.
That would make sense.
Too
That looks
bold,
like
yeah.
a fall movie. That looks
But-
like that is the Passengers quality of
Oh,
motion
you're
picture.
right.
Like, we're gonna put these stars in here and fucking, I don't know, money. Like, star,
But see, the
question mark money.
The main difference here, George, is that Serenity is a masterpiece.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, listener, if you have not seen Serenity, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
I don't want these guys to ruin it for you. I just want to throw it
It's a
out
lot.
there that you should probably watch Serenity.
That's a lot.
I will just say you could do that.
I
sure.
hosted a birthday party, and the birthday gift that everyone got me was watching that film when I said that they should, and it was wonderful.
I would say very much, again,
If you're a fan of Anne Hathaway acting, check it out. If you're a fan of Matthew McConaughey's ass, check it out.
You will be checking
Not,
it out
not
many
since
times.
not since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Next Generation or New Beginning has this hard.
All right.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so on
The Hustle.
to
Rebel
The
Wilson
Hustle.
is back.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in anything in a minute.
She's
She
probably
was
had a
in
few
that
things.
fucking rom-com movie where
Right.
she got
Yeah.
hit on the part of the new genre
rom-com.
of rom-com where woman gets hit on the head.
Yeah.
What was that called? It's like
Isn't it romantic?
Yeah, it's romantic. I was honestly thinking, "Am I pretty?" And I was like, "No, that was
That was the
Schumer
Amy Schumer one where she got hit on the head.
Anne Hathaway is a con artist,
Right.
and
Rebel
she's
Wilson-
British.
Yeah, I think so.
Rebel Wilson is also a con artist.
Her British accent from the trailer seems so bad that I want to believe that it's revealed that she's not British. Actually,
Right,
but
like it's
I
part of
don't
it's
know.
part of the work.
I don't
It's part of the
know.
character.
But yeah, Rebel Wilson is like an aspiring con artist, sugar baby, and this movie looks god awful, but I want to see it.
Oh boy, Detective Pikachu, Pokemon, Detective Pikachu.
man.
Some folks here have seen it.
Yes, we will talk about it.
I am not one of them.
We'll talk about it some other time, but
Based on the hit game Detective Pikachu.
everyone loves.
Everyone
I
loves.
remember loves Creatures Inc. Shout out to them.
Exactly.
Favorite.
Putting in the time.
Put in the time. Love that timely 3DS, the hottest platform in the
Exactly.
year 2018. The best time to release of.
To be fair, they put in
Yes, I
way
know.
more work on that than they should have.
No, totally.
Yeah.
But at that point, Nintendo was like, "Fucking, you want to make a
Yeah.
movie out of this? Fucking okay."
They're like, yeah, we
They're a separate company, so
They
you can
are.
go talk to
They
them.
go
They're
down the
across the
lane.
street. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't know.
But yeah, Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, and Justice
I have some
Smith
thoughts about
from
that.
Paper Towns. Another shout out to Paper Towns here.
I don't remember anything. about
Cara
it.
Delevingne, also in Paper Town.
Exactly.
Also in her smell. Oh yeah, we talked about how
Pokemon, also brought up in Paper Towns. Everything's connected to Paper
connected.
Towns.
What is this, Under the Silver Lake?
what is this, Annabelle?
What is extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile?
That is
It's
the
the sexy
Zac
Ted Bundy
That's
movie.
the Zac Efron Netflix Ted Bundy movie that people are really
Ooh.
excited for, even though it has never at any point looked good.
No.
What if Ted Bundy was hot?
Yeah.
I think the thing was people thought Ted Bundy was hot.
That's
and
true.
That was the
There
that
is
added
there
the
is a
concept.
subgenre of true crime fans who were like in love with Ted Bundy.
Jesus
There's,
Christ.
I think a lot of true crime fans.
mean,
are
people
in
wanted to
love
fuck-
with all
with
the serial-
several.
People wanted to
But
fuck
I-
Pennywise, whatever. So,
Clown fuckers. Yeah, I wasn't one of them.
Yeah, neither was I.
So whatever. Well, that's weird. So it's a Netflix motion
yeah,
picture?
yeah. I've
Alright.
almost watched it a few
I will
times.
watch the trailer now because I'm
Yeah.
curious. Tolkien, boy, this movie looks.
Yeah, this movie
No
looks
thanks.
I was kind of interested, but then I was reading earlier that the Tolkien estate is distancing itself from this movie and doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So
jeez.
it's like, uh-oh. Oh.
It seems very much that kind of movie. It's oh my god, I'm forgetting his name right now.
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult is J.R.R. Tolkien.
Is the guy.
It looks bad.
Ugh.
Anyways, John Wick 3. Ooh. I need to watch John Wick.
Same here. I need to watch John Wick 1 and 2.
Guys, it's time. You gotta watch them.
Read them over.
I'll do
The
it.
guy who made Thomas is Alone is making the John Wick video game.
Yeah, well, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah, that's all
John
right.
Wick movies are good. I'm just saying it. Hot
I
take.
believe it. The first time I saw it, though, I was like watching it halfway. And I wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I wish they were showing them separately at somewhere. Because I want to watch the first one in a movie theater. It was very just.
Oh yeah, somewhere
one's
that's
very
not
movie-
just a a triple feature.
It was just watching from afar, I was like, this movie seems very movie theater. Like the dark colors and Anyway.
Well, I didn't see any of them in the theaters.
Right.
So.
Anyways, The Souvenir. I don't know what this is.
This is a movie that I have seen the trailer for, and it looks really good. I'm mainly interested, and I thought you guys would be interested because it has Tilda Swinton in it, and it also has Tilda Swinton's daughter in it.
She has a daughter. She brought another Swinton into the world?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I'm not super sure about what all
Honor
the plot entails.
Swinton Byron?
Yep, that's her.
Damn.
And it looks like it chronicles a tumultuous relationship between, I believe, Tilda Swinton's daughter and this other guy. But I watched the trailer, and the trailer looks really interesting.
There's an 824 joint.
Mm-hmm.
That's sometimes
That's
good.
always good news.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to give that a shout out, just to let you guys know that Tilda Swinton's daughter will be making her big screen debut.
I've reached that point in my life where I think I'll watch anything if Tilda Swinton's in it.
Uh-huh.
Because, she's the best actor.
I love her.
She's great.
Yeah, she's in Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Me and Ryan lost our shit.
That was cool.
We're the only two people who were like, Swinton.
Like when he walked out on that roof and I heard a lady voice, I was like,
You were in that movie. Aladdin.
She didn't help with those aliens then.
Nope.
She was just there.
She was hanging out.
She was just like,
Because she already knew what was going to happen.
You know
She
what?
knew.
If I was Tilda Swinton and I was that powerful and I saw some fucking trifling ass aliens, I'd be like, nah.
She also knew that was going to happen.
Oh, I know she did, but it's still funny that to imagine Tilda Swinton on the roof, fully capable of stopping everything
Just like,
easily, and just be like, I got it, as like the buildings are falling around her.
Aladdin.
Oh god!
I gotta say,
Evan.
guys.
Oh dear.
So we saw the trailer
Oh, God.
when we were playing Pikachu. I think it looks fine now.
Oh god, George.
It's not gonna be great, but it looks okay.
It might be okay.
I enjoy that I don't recognize any of the actors apart from Will Smith.
That's fair.
I like that a whole lot.
But Jasmine is the pink Power Ranger.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Love it. Fantastic. I'm
also-
more on board then.
She's also in the Charlie's Angels reboot that's coming out this year.
Oh. Is that really? I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Power Rangers 2017 yesterday.
Every day you think about that movie.
Oh, man. Yeah.
This
No.
looks
You saw
horrible.
Dumbo, Carrie.
I didn't see Dumbo. What are you talking
I
about?
thought you did.
No, I thought about it.
I
But
thought
I
you told me
didn't
that it was
actually watch
forgettable. Maybe because I imagined like it's forgettable.
I assume it would be.
Maybe you
pretty
forgot you saw it.
That is
I did
possible.
not see Dumbo.
All right, well, I apologize then.
You yelled at me.
Oh, I think you mentioned that you wanted to because there's a part of your Tim Burton like
Yes.
That's what happened. That's what it was.
But
I
this
forgot
is a
that
Guy Ritchie.
Oh, I
Aladdin.
forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
all
Guy
right.
Ritchie movie.
I'm on board.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like, oh man, it's Guy Ritchie, huh? Oh well, fuck.
Oh.
I couldn't finish Beauty and the Beast, the remake.
You watched it?
No, I didn't see it in
What,
theaters.
You started it?
I started it and I couldn't finish it.
Oh. How'd you feel about? Did you get to the stupid song? Well, how'd you feel about the auto tune? First of all.
I don't remember a single thing. I just remember. I think I had like half an hour left, and I was like,
Did you like Dan Stevens' song?
I don't remember.
He's like, I was the one who had it all.
I
was
think
the
I saw
master
that
of
part.
my
I don't
fate.
remember.
It's when she leaves the tower and he's.
Did Dan
walking
Stevens
up-
play Gaston?
No, he was the Beast.
Oh yeah, right.
Gaston was Luke Evans, and I thought he was fine. Anyway, sorry. Beauty
But
and the
yeah,
Beast
I
is
don't.
not
I don't
good.
like these live.
I love untitled live action Disney projects.
That's my favorite.
That's
one.
my favorite.
My favorite genre.
Yeah. Oh god.
It's a shame that we know that all of those are gonna be remakes.
When are we gonna get live action Pinocchio?
It sucks. It sucks. Actually, that I think about the stuff they're doing now with the CGI Disney animated studio. They're like, all right, so this is gonna fill the next generation of Untitled Disney live action.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is the most.
I'm so excited to see
Frozen.
Frozen in live action.
Is Frozen 2 coming out this year?
Yes, it is. It's a big. It's a big year for the biggest entertainment company in the world.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do all right.
Yeah, I think they're gonna look pretty good.
I'm nervous.
For what reason?
Entertainment monopoly.
Would they buy this? Would they buy up this podcast?
Oh god.
It's okay, guys. Dark Phoenix is gonna be so bad and make so little money that I'll look like, oh man.
Just tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
Okay, Brightburn.
I'll be honest. This looks all right.
Yeah,
I
it looks
like it.
funny.
I like the idea of Superman being a serial killer. Because this just seems like something that the current Superman
Who's
would
the
have just
female
done.
lead? I can't remember. It's
Hold on.
Elizabeth.
Is it Elizabeth? Elizabeth Moss from from Her Smell.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, I can't remember her last name. The one who played.
I want to say Olsen, but that's not it.
No, I don't think it's her. She's not in the cast. I know who you're talking about, but
I thought it was a prolific, someone recognizable.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yes,
Elizabeth
yes,
Banks, who you're
yes,
talking
yes,
about.
yes.
But I
She's
don't know
also
if she's in
You
the
were
film.
close to Power Rangers.
Elizabeth Banks is directing the
Oh, it is
Charlie's
Elizabeth
Angels.
Banks. Okay, it wasn't listed on the Google cast, but I had to go to IMDb, and she was the first one listed.
Elizabeth Banks is also directing the Charlie's Angels reboot
Oh,
this year,
okay.
starring Kristen Stewart and Naomi Scott and some other person I don't remember. I know, so it might be good.
Yeah,
Probably not.
Brightburn looks silly.
Yeah, it looks fun.
But instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister.
I don't like how people are calling this a James Gunn thing when he's just the producer.
I mean, that's how we always play it, baby.
I know,
That's
but
true.
it's weird. Because his brothers wrote
Ryan
it.
doesn't like it.
No, it's just just not really true.
You're just lying to people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay.
Like you'd be like Aladdin from the maker of
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's not a
The Man
lie.
from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah. Yeah, Brightburn might be fun.
Book smart.
I am really
Is
excited.
this
for
the Olivia Wilde?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm tired of seeing ads for it, to be honest with you.
Every time I see an ad for this, I'm like, I want this more.
I mean, I want to see it, but I'm like, okay.
I am good on
Like,
seeing
they're
the trailer.
ruining, they're getting me tired of the character that is
Yes.
played by the actress who was in Lady Bird. And I haven't seen the movie yet.
That actress is also in the What We Do with the Shadows TV show.
Which apparently is fantastic.
Oh,
Apparently it's better than the movie, is what people tell me.
It's not better
about
than the
that.
movie, but it's fantastic.
Oh,
and
okay.
no spoilers, but that last episode was incredible.
I really need to get on it.
There were some guest appearances that are unbelievable.
Ryan told me that I would lose my fucking mind if I watched it, I think was your words.
you would.
I am moderately excited for this, mostly because it's a coming of age movie.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
but I'm honestly excited for Lisa Kudrow.
I'm excited for Olivia Wilde to do something because she's always great when I see her and stuff.
Yes, she's very much punished. She was very punished, Olivia Wilde, for a second, where she went to the shadows and this fucking industry is garbage bullshit.
It's like, I'm gonna make my own shit now, and good for fucking you. You're great.
You couldn't even give me my Tron paycheck. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, this movie looks good. And
God.
it looks like it's trying some stuff.
Godzilla.
King of those guys. Who
King
are
of-
they? There's so many of them.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna give my. I'm too excited for it. All the promotional material looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks very.
I was really
good.
hurt from Godzilla 2014.
Yeah, that's the
so
thing.
I'm
it's
on
not
the
a
edge.
bad movie,
But the director's a lot better.
Yes.
True.
And this movie looks like it's gonna be buck wild.
Yes.
And it's got.
It's hard not to be buck wild.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a giant bug.
I'm surprised this movie just called Godzilla Buck Wild.
Buck Wild Monsters.
Um,
This movie better be good.
I hope it's so. I hope it's good.
Please.
Well, I'm not looking forward to Godzilla versus King Kong next year.
Kong was a very good movie.
That's a
And they
big,
fixed
a big monkey.
They fixed the whole. It's not actual King Kong. This is good King Kong.
I forgot that Ryan hated Kong.
Everything they did was Kong, because they fixed it really. King Kong's like a fucking small dumb ape. Who gives a fuck. And I was like, we make him a giant monkey. It's like, hell yeah.
Big boy.
Big monkey. It's like, all right, that does make sense.
What if a monkey
This
was
is
big?
logical. This all checks out.
But like, this is just weird because like next year's going to be Godzilla vs. King Kong. But like he's
That
fighting
should have been
eight-
before it,
He's
yeah.
fighting 18 monsters.
That should have
in
been
this
before.
one
That should have
movie.
been before it, yeah.
So it's just kind of a weird, like, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, looks very pretty. I'm pretty hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocket Boy.
Rocket Man.
A lot of marketing for this movie. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna do well.
I think it's gonna do good.
I think the movie's gonna be good.
It's not.
And
it
post
feels-
Bohemian Rhapsody is the
I was
greatest
gonna
movie of all
say
time.
it feels like it's in the same, not quality wise,
better.
but like it feels like it's going for the
Yes.
same kind of thing as Bohemian
Mhm.
Rhapsody. But I feel like Queen obviously has a much
Yeah.
bigger crowd draw than Elton John would. But I feel like this movie's actually gonna be good.
Yes, I think it looks
And
good.
I really like Taron Egerton, and he has a wonderful voice, and he be singing these songs, and it sounds.
Oh yeah, he's
like-
actually singing these songs.
And he hasn't really-
That's the
Interesting.
difference.
And he hasn't really gotten a break. Like Kingsman, they still making. There's an Untitled Kingsman movie. I heard that
that's
He's,
true.
he's not going to be in the third one.
Is
Really?
that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they
it's
gonna
weird.
bring back Roxy, who they shouldn't have killed? Fucking idiots.
Well, you know what? there were a few problems with that movie, I would say.
But
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Rocket Man is gonna be great.
What is Mom?
That's the one
Oh
where
my
Octavia
God.
Spencer has all the teens over.
I saw that trailer and I was like, "Is this fake? No. Like, is this like a joke? Am I watching SNL? Like, what is?"
It's gonna be so amazing.
I was like, I meant to text you guys about that. I was like, did I make that up? Like, what was that? I saw it in the gym and I was like, what?
Fucking God, I am legitimately so excited
I
for this
am-
movie.
man.
It looks ridiculous.
I don't know, man.
It's gonna be so. Like,
I
just
trust that
love,
Octavia Spencer,
Yeah.
yes,
I just
has
love
good
the
taste
setup.
in what
It's so
she does.
stupid. It's so-
Award-winning actor Octavia
Yes, yes.
Spencer is now
Don't
Ma.
make me drink alone. Don't make me.
God, it's so weird. Like this really does feel like a movie that came from a parallel universe.
Yes.
That's just been dropped.
Yes.
We got
Like,
the
what if-
trailer for this before, like Pet Cemetery, didn't
Oh,
we?
yeah.
Or some, or no,
No.
no, because George wouldn't have
Yeah, I
seen it.
wouldn't have seen it.
I think it was before. Maybe it was before Shazam. Maybe.
I think it might have been before her smell.
No, I would have seen
definitely
it.
not.
Again, I saw it at the
Because
gym
it was
and I
at
was like,
Twin
what
Creek.
the fuck?
I was at Twin Creek the first time I saw it, and I lost my fucking mind because I hadn't seen any trailers.
I don't know how this movie snuck up on. I was like, what the fuck? Is this a Blumhouse production? It has to
I
be.
think
right?
so. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of has to
Yeah.
be.
It kind of has to be. Well, that's
It's gonna be
May.
hilarious.
That's Bob.
Is that at
Bye.
the, so that's that at the end of the. Ooh, Rocket Man comes out the same week as Godzilla, huh?
Yeah.
I think so.
Interesting. Interesting.
See, what are you guys looking forward to?
Summer is here,
most?
baby.
I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
I'm
here.
really excited for The Hustle. No.
I think it's Godzilla and Rocket Man.
Ah.
I don't.
I
Ma's gonna be so fucking
I'm-
funny.
I'm very interested in seeing what goes wrong in Aladdin.
I think it's gonna be meh, and then we'll be like, yeah, it was
I
meh.
hope
I don't know.
I
It's either
I
like,
hope it's a train wreck.
I really want it to be a train
I don't think it is. I think it's gonna be meh.
Yeah, probably. They're gonna rein Guy Ritchie back and be like,
I
Like,
don't-
all
know
like,
if
like,
that-
I'll just say, like, all the stuff at the like the Will Smith is very obnoxious,
yes.
but like everything like that the actors are like the two lead actors from the trailer, like, hey, they're trying.
Oh my god, have you seen the trailer on his YouTube channel where he's on set
Yes.
on his
Vlogging?
iPhone?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah, what up YouTube? It's your boy Will Smith out here with the new Aladdin trailer. Damn on the haters, am I right? Whoa, here it is.
The movie.
I hate how the society is
the
now.
movie. The movie just also looks ugly to me.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It just looks.
It's
gross.
hard. Like they fucked up to make. They made like that was the most colorful and bright movie,
Yeah.
and like you can. I
As
don't
the
know.
Lion King comes out in 2 months, it's
Oh
gonna
my
get
fucking
uglier.
God.
That's the thing. Like they have these movies that set like in Africa and like all these colorful spots and like I don't know, man.
I'm looking forward to Billy Eichner only.
Oh my god. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen together.
Now
That'll
the
be
li-
great.
And Eric Andre.
Now yes, the Lion King movie that looks blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks
very
very
much.
blah. But the Lion Man, like, listen, come on, this is a big break for these guys. I'm just like happy for the actors.
Oh yeah, that's true. But
This is a big
But
break.
there's also a lot of stuff where like the lady who played Cinderella, in the Cinderella reboot.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't. What was she? The girlfriend in
yeah.
Baby Driver?
Yes.
So I don't know if that's really going to be a big break for him.
Sure. I don't know.
She was also in Mamma Mia too.
Yeah.
She played young Meryl Streep.
Well, okay, look, that is the role of a lifetime. To be fair.
That's also kind of maybe setting yourself up for failure a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the more of these that come out, the more actors will think it's their big break, and I just don't think it'll work out the way.
Listen, I still want to see a live action Mulan movie.
I think that's next year.
I know. I know inevitably the way that money works and the way
I
think
that's one of the ones that they have in the pipeline for sooner rather than later.
Okay. All right. Well, that's everything for this episode. Holy moly, there's a lot of stuff. I think my voice is gone. I don't even know what the time. Like it's just like an hour.
10:05. Right,
it's gonna be like an hour episode. It's not gonna be that long. That's not. Oh, that's longer than most, I guess. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. You should check out Hurstville. Holy shit, man, that movie is fucking good. Ryan, where can people find you?
At Mr. Pibb Official on the internet, Twitter.
Mr. Pibb, better than Dr. Pepper. That's the statement I have to say.
True.
Yeah.
We
are a Mr. Pibb supporting podcast.
Exactly. Give us our paycheck.
Carrie, where can people find you?
On Twitter, you can find me at _E Lyles, LYLES.
If you are subscribed to this feed, I assumed you saw it, but Carrie and I had a discussion about Slut in a Good Way. That's just evergreen content right there. So if you want to see we're trying to do standalone reviews for some stuff, that's on the feed. But yeah, I guess that's about it. If you could rate and review the show on iTunes, that'd be fantastic. And if, again, I say this every time, I know people listen to this show somewhat. It's not the biggest audience, but if you listen to the show and you enjoy the show, let us know. Tell me how about that rape scene was actually great and fantastic in art, actually.
This is the
episode where we get torrents. Well, actually, idiots.
But yeah, until next time, we will see you then.
Goodbye.